everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we'll be looking at a paper 1 question, a very recent paper from February-March 2025, paper 1-2. Actually there's only one variant for February-March every time, and it's paper 1-2. We'll be looking at question 38. This is a bit about nuclear decay and some momentum as well. So without further ado, let's get started. A stationary nucleus has a nucleon number A. The nucleus decays by emitting a proton with speed v to form a new nucleus with speed u. Okay. The nucleus and the proton move away from one another in opposite directions. Which equation gives v in terms of A and u? Okay. Let's look at some important points here. First of all, it's a stationary nucleus, so we know the initial speed is 0, has a nucleon number of A. The nucleus decay by emitting a proton with speed v and a new nucleus with speed u, and they move in opposite directions. Opposite direction. Which equation gives v in terms of A and u? So they want to know what is v. Okay. So initially, so there's actually two ways to visualize this, because I realized there's two ways. First way is you see nuclear decay as this way, like this is the stationary nucleus at first, right? Then when it decays, it emits a proton and a nucleus. I'm just going to write nucleus. So they say it moves in opposite direction. So there is a possibility that after this nuclear decays, it emits a proton, and the proton moves in this direction, and the nucleus moves in this direction. So the proton moves with speed v, the nucleus moves with speed u in the opposite direction. This is one way to look at it, like this way and this way. So it's opposite direction in a way, right? Another way to look at it is when you see the nucleus in this position, okay, then it emitted proton and a nucleus. So in this case, what happens is the proton moves this way in speed v, and the nucleus moves this way with speed u. So both visualization is correct. It just depends on your perspective, on how you see it. But as long as you visualize it as if that the proton and the new nucleus move in opposite direction, you are good to go. So both is fine. Okay. So what I'm going to choose is, I'm just going to stick with the first diagram. So this is the initial stationary nucleus, and it has a proton and a new nucleus. So the proton moves with the speed of v, and the nucleus moves with the speed of u. Okay. So initial momentum is 0, okay, because the stationary nucleus is not moving, it's stationary itself, so of course you have no speed, 0. And your mass number is A, because nuclear number, another way to see it is actually the mass number, because nuclear number is actually the number of neutrons plus number of protons. So in other words, we call it the mass number. So yes, in this case, the stationary nucleus has a mass number of A, and speed is 0, so initial momentum is already 0. Now what would be your final momentum? So remember, they are moving in opposite directions, so you need to take into consideration your sign. So I'm going to take into consideration that going up here is positive and the opposite direction will be negative. So here you must be a little bit careful. So what would be my mass number for proton? It will be 1, because what is mass number? It's your nuclear number, and your nuclear number is number of neutrons and number of protons. And they said a proton, so the number of protons is 1, so of course your mass number will also be 1. You have no neutrons and protons, just protons, right? So, and it's a proton, so you have only one proton, and that is your mass number. Okay. Your speed is v. Okay. Then the total final momentum, you need to add it first. The new nucleus, what would be its mass? It would be A minus 1, because initially the initial station nucleus has a mass number of A. Then after it decays, 1 goes to proton. So the remaining would be A minus 1, right? Then your speed will be negative u, because like I said, it's opposite direction. So this will be 0 equals to v minus A minus 1 u. So I make v as my subject because they want me to give the equation as v the subject in terms of A and u. So I bring my v here, I get negative A minus 1 u. And negative can be cancelled out, and you will get v equals to A minus 1 u. And this would be your final answer. The answer is B. So what is it that you should note here is, first of all, what is nuclear number? You must understand what is meant by nuclear number. And then you need to know that they're moving in opposite direction. It doesn't matter how you see it, because there's two ways to see it. I show you. It doesn't matter. Both will yield you the same answer. Yep. And that's about it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.